Alright, and now we are live. Okay, so welcome everyone to episode 26 of Cast the Shadows. This week we're going to be doing yet another uh, in-game event. We're continuing with Invictus Launch Week 2951. As you're going to review it live as we also walk around Drake Defense Con, which is a separate event at the same time. Similar to how, like, you have E3 and then you have, like, EA and Sony all doing their own events at the same time as E3. You categorize them all together, but they're all separate events, and it's weird. So it's the same thing in lore here.
Well, and the in-lore explanation is that Drake Interplanetary, which is another ship manufacturer, does not usually get invited to the Invictus launch
No,
week
that's
because
why they
don't
hold their own.
provide a lot of ships to the UEE. And so they're like, well, fine, we'll host our own expo event. So that's pretty much what it
Yep,
is.
so we're going to be walking around there and showing stuff off and maybe rent some ships and go flying around while we talk about Invictus and how it was the past week. So let's dive in. Alright, I'm loading us into a server now.
I actually checked it out earlier. Funny story.
I haven't yet.
I actually crashed while I was in the event. I was checking out the ships. I crashed while I was in the back of one of the ships. I forgot which one. And when I loaded back in, it put me back in the back of the ship in the expo hall. So that was a cool little feature.
Yay.
Meant I didn't have to go through all the elevators in the tram again.
I was about to say, yeah, that at least there's that. Oh, also for anyone wondering, we have a fund going right now. You'll see it on the screen. Cams, what can possibly? Well, sorry, we have to sing it, right? I'll let you do the honors.
What could possibly go wrong?
So we're trying to get $500 by the end of the year. We don't expect to reach it at all, but it's worth trying, isn't it? We already got $10.
Woohoo!
Like, I don't know, the first time we announced the fund. We haven't gotten any money in the last 3 weeks since then.
We're poor, we're broken. Yana.
So what, you're at New Babbage?
Yeah.
I should be looks like Port All-Star.
Rip.
That's okay, I'll just take my carrot and fly over. Now that I have one, I can be there lickety-split.
Lickety lick?
Mitzel split lick. So far Invictus, I think it's been good. You and I we were talking about
nothing extremely good, but nothing bad at all either.
It's better than last year just because it's actually stable enough to be like, okay, I can actually play and visit it this year without fear of my game constantly crashing and all that. It's cool to see the Bengal carrier flying around, and it's cool to actually be able to board a javelin. Albeit a small section of it.
The javelin was cool, but at the same time, I feel like it was a little underwhelming.
A little bit, yeah. I've been helping a lot of players though in game these past few days.
Oh yeah.
Newbies coming in.
I helped out someone yesterday and they gave me 2 million.
Wow.
No, they were like, "Hey, I need a pickup." Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had that luxury.
But so I've bought myself now a Valkyrie.
Really?
Yep.
In game or real money?
Yeah, in game.
I hope so. Yeah.
I did CCU one of my. I had 2 talents. I upgraded the regular talent over to a Vulcan, so I now have repair, rearm, refuel capability in a small package.
Nice. What's the loaner for that?
I believe it's the Freelancer.
With any specific
standard
variants
Freelancer.
or?
Nope, just regular.
Hmm. Well, you can at least strip it for parts and upgrade your cutlass.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have a cutlass anymore, but.
Oh yeah.
But especially once they actually get the refuel ram repair capabilities in, that's probably going to be a pretty big moneymaker. Because at that point, 2 people are going to be probably getting stranded pretty often. Or things like, hey, my ship is completely
We have that now.
flopped. But I mean, yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. If people just blow their ship up, but I'd be like, hey, I can go and come
Speaking
fuel
of people,
for...
what the fuck?
What?
Some asshole just rammed into me at Port Alsar, and I have a crime stat.
Huh. Well, at least you're near Security Post Korea.
So I guess I'm gonna have to jump to. Thanks. And now my character just blew up because all the station got mad at me. Wow.
Just another day in Star Citizen.
Nothing can be simple.
When we tried before for like me sharing my screen through like Discord and then you trying to view that, did that ever work at all or no?
At least not when I'm using the application. No.
Yeah, maybe we need to get a different application.
Maybe need to like uninstall and reinstall it.
But that's it. Have you tried turning it off and turning it on again?
Yeah, right.
So I've already been to the expo. I'm traveling there on the tram right now. So I can talk a little bit about it. So, obviously this is Drake's Day. So they've got there all of the Cutlass variants. They've got the Caterpillar, Buccaneer, Herald. They've got a little stand for the Dragonfly, and they've also got holograms of the Corsair, the Vulcan, and I swear there was one more Drake ship.
The Kraken?
Yes, and the Kraken. Showing off there. So they've got at least the exterior models of those that you can look at, and you can rent all of those. One thing too that's pretty good for anyone who jumps in during the Drake days here, which is the next 2 days, before it's just the end of the event, for the last 4 days. But in the actual hall for Drake, which by the way, you get there at the spaceport. It is no longer at the actual Tobin Expo Center. We've been going. You go to just the spaceport through the regular trams, and then in the back of the spaceport, there's a bunch of Drake posters and banners and shit, and then you just turn to one of the elevators way in the back there, and ride those down. But as soon as you get to the event, on the wall, opposite side of where the actual expo is, there's going to be 4 ship rental terminals there. And from those terminals, you can not only go and rent all of the Drake ships, but nearly every ship in the game. Not all of them. I did notice, especially there's no Crusader ships listed there, so no Hercules, no Mercury Star Runner. I actually just got up to one of the things here so I can list off. So from Aegis, we've got, so this is everything that you can rent at the terminals that are in the Drake Expo Hall floor. So from Aegis, we've got the Hammerhead, Reclaimer, all Avenger variants, so the Stalker, Titan, and Warlock, the Eclipse, the Gladius, Retaliator, the Sabers, all Vanguards, and then from Anvil, we've got the Arrow, the Ballista, the Carrack, the Gladiator, the Hawk, all Hornet variants, the Hurricane, the C8X Pisces, Terrapin, Valkyrie, and more Hornets. From Apoa, we've got the Nox and Nox Coup, as well as the Cartu All, which is an alien fighter. From Argo, we've got the Argo Mole. So that especially right there, that's a pretty good moneymaker if you can get a crew together, or if you're willing to be jumping in and out of seats and going up and down ladders as a solo operator. So if you've been looking for a time to try to earn some money with you and your friends, hey, free mole, got it for 48 hours. That's not a bad deal right there. And use that to go and mine some rocks, throw them into the refineries. The only thing I will note with mining currently, you mine the ore, you have it on your ship, you fly it to one of the 4 refineries at the Lagrange stations. Once it's in the refinery, to go and pick up the ore, you need to have a cargo ship, not a mining ship, but a cargo ship that can hold regular standard cargo to pick up the refined ore, because the refined ore is seen as actual cargo at that point. So that's the only thing I will note there, because that does kind of surprise some people. And then you've also got the NPUV cargo and personnel, which are just snubs. We've got the Banu Defender. From Consolidated Outland, we've got the 4 Mustang variants, the Alpha, Beta, Delta, and Gamma. From Drake, like I said, we've got all Cutlass variants, the Buccaneer, the Caterpillar, the Dragonfly. Oh, they've apparently also included the Dragonfly Star Kitten variant. So
this is the first time that anyone that can rent it that didn't buy it.
Correct. I actually did not see this earlier. I might have missed it earlier. They might have added it later, but you can fly the Star Kitten.
Oh, speaking of bugs, I have the cursor glitch now. Like the one where you can still play the game, but you can't get rid of the cursor.
Yeah. I hate that one. We've also got from Asperia, we've got the Glaive, which is a Vanduul ship, Blade, also a Vanduul ship, and the Prowler, which is the drop ship. From Grey Cat, we've got the Grey Cat Rock. So again, if you wanted to check out some mining, great time to do it. You can pick up a Cutlass Black for free. You can pick up a rock for free. You got them for 48 hours. Great time to go and do some ground mining with those. Kruger, we've got the 72 and 52 Archimedes and Merlin. Misk, we've got all Freelancer variants, Prospector, the Razor variants, and all Reliant Core, Reliant variants, and the Starfarer and Starfarer Gemini. And then we've got Origin, where we've got all 300 variants and 600 variants, as well as the 100 variants and the 85X and M50. So unfortunately, no 890 jump for those who might have wanted to check that one out. But pretty much everything else the Origin offers, you can grab. We've got from RSI, we've got the PTV, which is quite literally a golf cart. All Aurora variants, all Constellation, we've got the Andromeda, Aquila, and Phoenix Constellation variants. The Mantis and the Ursa Rover. And then from Tumbril, we've got all Cyclone variants, including the MT, and that pretty much rounds it out. So all of those ships that I just listed off, you can rent currently from the Drake Expo Hall in the New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. You can rent them all for free for 48 hours and do whatever you want with them. So great time to be earning some extra cash, especially if you've been wanting to try out some of these and get some shit done, but haven't had the money to grab them before. I'm just walking around the expo hall now, so they've got, of course, all the Cutlass variants, and so too, you can go and on the expo hall floor itself, you can go into all of the Cutlass variants, the Caterpillar, check them all out, run around inside of them. So for those who might not know, so the Cutlass Black is the default Cutlass variant. It's one of the smallest like multi-person ships. Really great, versatile all-around ship. The Cutlass Black specifically is meant for cargo, as well as potentially piracy, because it has a tractor beam on it. Or it will once tractor beams are mounted to ships. The Cutlass Blue is meant to be a bounty hunter variant, so it's the same chassis, but the interior is different. It has 12 prisoner pods on it. So for comparison, the Hawk has a single prisoner pod on the back. The Avenger Stalker has 6 prisoner pods in the back, and the Cutlass Blue has 12. So definitely can transport a lot of prisoners with that once that gameplay actually is in. The other changes are that the side doors that the Cutlass Black had are replaced with actual airlocks, similar to also the Cutlass Red. Additionally, has airlocks, not just side doors that open up. The Cutlass Blue also specifically, it has in the cockpit, so all variants in the cockpit have 2 lockers on the left-hand side and then 4 weapon racks for 4 individual rifles. So if you have a crew of 2, that's 2 rifles per person. On the front right, as well as 2 beds. But the Cutlass Blue specifically also has, at least visually, we can't access it yet, but visually, it has additional weapon racks in the back. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like about 9 rifles or so. Might be 10, depending. There's some visual stuff there. But potentially holding 9 additional weapons in the back, but it has like a security grate over it, because obviously if a prisoner got out like a prisoner pod, you don't want them to have free access to anything sitting there. So, but definitely would be good for bounty hunters to have a bit of a walking arsenal there. It looks like potentially you might have an additional clothing or armor locker in here. So it looks like it's just a better way for you to get fully geared up for your bounty hunter adventures in there. And then the Cutlass Red is the search and rescue variant. It has 2 medical beds in there, which are used to, so there's generally speaking, a lot of the medical gameplay will that's not just done with in hand or on person equipment. The next tier up from that kind of portable equipment would be a medical bed. And there's 3 tiers of those, ranging from things like, hey, you're dealing with general, like, hey, I sprained my ankle, hey, I have like a bit of hyperthermia or hypothermia, so nothing really life-threatening, nothing too serious, but enough that it's like, hey, my portable equipment, the stuff I've got in my cargo pants pocket can't really deal with that. That's what the first tier of med bay would be for. The second tier of medical bed is like what the Carrack has on board. So that's when we're talking much more serious stuff. So things like, hey, I'm actively bleeding from some serious wounds, and I can't go and do just like a duct tape patch job to fix it up, or I've broken several bones and I'm pretty fucked up. This is stuff that would be potentially, yeah. Although generally anything that would be replacing limbs, that's going to be in the life-threatening, so that would be like the top tier medical bed. That's pretty much where, like, hey, you are absolutely going to die unless we assist you right here and now. The second tier is like, hey, if we don't treat you, you could die, but it's not like super critical life-threatening. And then the first tier is like, okay, your life isn't really in danger, but you're definitely hurt and affected by whatever's got you. And then all of these will have different amounts of gameplay attached to them and stuff. But anyway, so the Cutlass ride had that first tier of medical bed, so that also too can be used to, let's say if you do have some serious wound, that can be used to stabilize you for transport to a much better medical facility. So that way it's like, okay, sure, we can't fix you here and now, but we can at least make sure you don't degrade any further until we get you to better facilities.
In other words, yeah, it stabilizes you for the moment. But you in a state of traction.
Yep.
Alright, I'm hacking my crime stat now. I'll make my way over to you.
I'm running toward the back of the expo hall here. Also, too, they have Drake T-shirts and hats you can buy.
Yeah, but you can buy those at the Tobin Expo Center as well, can't you?
I don't know if they had Drakes.
That's a good point, actually. I don't think they had Drakes either, yeah. Actually, no, you're right, they don't, because I remember pointing it out when I first was there.
So, in the back of the expo hall, they got the holograms for ships that aren't out yet. Mm-hmm. So these are ones that CIG are still working on. So one of those we've got is the Kraken. So that is the as Drake calls it, the assault carrier. So this is the largest carrier that we have confirmed that players can actually own currently. Don't know exactly how many ships will actually fit in there, but I know the base variant has both landing pads on the exterior of it, as well
and
as
it's got a hangar bay for Buccaneers, or at least we've seen it used for Buccaneers.
Yes, and also too, it has a dedicated bay for Dragonfly bikes as well. But then it's also got like interior like habitations, mess halls, stuff like that. And then there's actually a variant of it where you can remove a lot. Oh, and also a shit ton of cargo, of course, because it'll have the ability to repair, resupply, and rearm ships that land and that it has munitions or fuel for. So it also has some interior cargo storage for that kind of stuff.
It's like a mobile home base.
Pretty much, honestly, pretty much. For
and that's what a lot of these larger ships are.
Yeah. For a decent-sized org, it'd be the perfect thing to go and be traveling with most of your forces there. Your buddies' ships all landed on there, and plot out operations and operate off of. Whereas, like, say the Polaris, which is
which is something that which is more up our alley, smaller sized.
Yeah. The Polaris would be much more for like a singular strike group kind of approach. Because among other things too, it has only a single hangar, so it could only repair or resupply like a single ship at a time.
Unless you squeeze two in there, like maybe you can squeeze two subfighters or something.
But at the same time, you're probably only going to be able to, it'll still probably prevent you from actively performing operations on a single ship at a time. So it'll probably make it so it's only one at a time there. However, but. So with the Kraken though, there is also a variant that will you sacrifice I think like 2/3 of the cargo. It's got like 3,000 SCU, so you're down to 1,000 SCU, which is still the privateer. And so you sacrifice a lot of your cargo space, and you sacrifice the internal Dragonfly docks in there, and you can actually put a market in there. And you would have the way they talked about stores last time they told us anything about it is that we have to hire NPCs to man them. So we the player, unless we're selling like an individual item to another player face to face, if we actually want a storefront.
You're essentially you're hiring shopkeeper Grimhex shopkeeper number 4, NPC
exactly
to sell stuff on your ship.
Yeah, but you yourself set, here's the inventory, here are the prices, and then the shopkeeper just handles the individual sales while you do whatever. But you have to actually supply all of the inventory that will be sold. You set all of the prices. And that'd be the same too for things like you'll be able to sell fuel. So like, if I'm just exploring and I'm like, hey, I found your mobile-based Kraken, and you're like, yeah, hey, we've got some shops open. Come on, see what we've got. And
yeah, we got like
I'm
500
like,
gallons of fuel here.
Yeah, I need fuel. You're like, hey, yeah, here's the prices for fuel here. I'll be like, oh yeah, that seems reasonable. This is highway robbery. Fuck you. So definitely lots of options there for that. One of the other Drake ships also in progress is the Corsair.
It's Drake's answer to the to RSI's Constellation Andromeda or Constellation series.
Yes. Yep. So it's meant to
compete with that
a
ship.
small vehicle like the Ursa Rover, and then have some pretty decent firepower to go and defend itself. So not as many missiles as the Constellation, but I believe it has a few bigger turrets on it.
And bigger guns too.
Yeah. And then the last Drake ship that we have in progress here in hologram form is the Vulture, which is the small salvage ship. This would be kind of the entry-level salvage ship here. And the way they've talked about that is that once salvage gameplay is in, there's going to be salvaging individual parts. So things like, hey, I've got this power plant, I've got this weapon, I've got the shield generator. So these are intact parts that you would actually be able to put into another ship and just use right off the bat. Then there's going to be actually harvesting the actual hull itself. So you're essentially ripping it apart into base component materials, and then those can be reconstituted on a repair ship to repair other vehicles as well, to rebuild them at least in a base form. They won't look exactly like what the ship right out of the factory looks like, unless maybe bigger repair ships might be able to do that kind of cosmetic adjustment on it, but it'll at least get you back up to fighting shape. And then I believe the last part of salvage they were talking about were things like consumables. So we're talking things like oxygen, water, probably ammunition in there, fuel, and being able to go and like siphon these from a derelict or a wreck into internal tanks, and then being able to reuse those on your own ships, because we are going to have to like pressurize our ships. We'll need water, we'll need food, fuel, yada yada yada. So being able to take those from a destroyed ship and pass them off to your strike group or your internal tanks to sell or whatever, definitely be some money in that.
Also, in the chat, the Wake Down says interesting, and that's a big damn ship with regards to what you're saying about the Kraken. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these ships are huge, and again, I'm not showing you guys don't have any visuals yet for that, but I'm getting there right now. So maybe the fleet will be there by the time I get there. So I can just make a quick flyby of the fleet, show off the Bengal again.
Then you get a crime stat again.
Oh my god! I mean I've already gotten a crime stat for just shooting at them. What's funny is I didn't get a crime stat for shooting at the Bengal. It was for shooting the Idris.
Yeah, the Bengal probably doesn't even have like it might have collision.
It has collision. I tested that.
So, but that's probably all it has. It probably doesn't even recognize it as an entity. Whereas the Idris, they've got that. Most of the work is
the engine effects seem like static light effects right now too.
Yeah. I will say one of the recent changes that has definitely been a huge quality of life improvement is that when you walk up to a ship, when you're right by a ship, it goes and it gives you a little marker to show, hey, here is how you get into the ship. That's definitely been a huge improvement.
Yeah, it's a nice quality of life thing. It helps new players know where to enter the ship.
Oh yeah, because I mean a lot of this, like, once we played for a while, it's like, okay, most small ships you enter in on the left hand side, um, and then after that, it's like for each individual ship, it's like, oh, I know the ladder is here or whatever, but new players, of course, are like, huh? And that being said, I also can't wait for when the caterpillar, both its elevators and its command module,
Oh yeah,
are
when it's
working.
actually able to fully go down, so you can load it up with ground vehicles properly.
Let alone when it has modules.
Right. Well, they're doing the Retaliator first for modules, correct?
Yeah, and that's been pushed back too, I believe.
Yeah, but 314 looks like it's been gutted. I know
Oh,
Salty
and I
Mike
mean,
was
it's if if
up in
you
arms about it.
look too at the progress tracker, it's not a surprise, but a lot of people don't look at that.
Let's say a lot of people only look at the release view, so
Yep. So
they're not as let's just use the word dedicated because it's not as honest as addicted as we are.
hmm.
Too late.
But it is what it is.
No, but jokes aside, yeah,
And I
it's
mean, bear,
understandably
bear
so
in
because the
mind,
progress tracker, if you're not really following Star System that closely and don't really care that much, it's just like, okay, here's a really convoluted, like a really detailed thing where I'm probably not going to understand a lot of it versus the release view where it's just, okay, simple, like here's the feature, here's when it's supposed to come out, and it's categorized and whatever. And understandably, people look at that more often than the progress tracker.
oh yeah, oh yeah. But I mean, when you take a step back and look at it, remembering that, hey, they're literally building all this shit from scratch. This isn't like, oh, hey, 1,500 other companies have all done
It's not like they're
XYZ
taking. It's
feature.
not like they're okay. We're using the Unreal Engine to blah blah. Like no, they're not. This isn't. First
Yeah,
off,
they
it's
don't
not even.
have
It's not
other
even
work to build
CryEngine
on.
anymore. Technically, they're using
Not really.
Star
I
Engine.
mean, it's CryEngine, but even
It's
still,
based on
it's
CryEngine,
it's
but
still
it's a
modified.
modified. It's a modified version of CryEngine they made that they then called Star Engine,
Yeah.
which is why they won the lawsuit. Well, that plus they actually bought CryEngine from Crytek, and then it's like, hey, we're gonna sue you because big heat buyer's remorse.
Yeah. And I will give them this too. And they did go and let everyone know about the roadmap pushback before Invictus launch week.
Yeah,
It's not like they went and were like, oh, what a surprise afterwards, to be like, oh, give us your money. It's like, no, they were like, hey, here's what it is, guys. Because I know last year they were kind of yelled at by the community because we were like, hey, how come some of this stuff got pushed back? Because again, they're building this shit from scratch, so it's like shit is gonna go and get pushed back or have
they also said a
complications.
while ago, and they stress this whenever they can. I think they should stress it more actually, and that is that
Mm.
the roadmap isn't really like set in. It's never set in stone. These are just goals for them. These are internal goals that they're showing us. Like they're giving us a window at their internal goals. Like, okay, this is what we're hoping to get it by. But odds are, if we don't, then we'll just push it back to, okay, instead of Q2, it'll be Q3 of 2021. Or
Yeah, so
whatever,
we're seeing even more in depth, pretty much at this point with that, with the progress tracker review, pretty much besides a few things being like having more detail, because there's some things that are like, hey, this is classified, or this is
Some won't
unlisted.
even tell you what they are just because they're probably tied in with Squadron 42 and therefore contain spoilers.
Yep, or it's stuff they just want to keep under wraps and be like, surprise.
That too, like maybe it's another ship that's not in concept anymore. It's actually, flight ready, but they haven't revealed it to the public and just want to go, hey, here's a new ship. It's flyable. Enjoy.
Yeah, people go,
Won't be the first time they've done it. Remember the Pisces?
Yeah. Honestly though, I love the.
Oh fuck! I think I just quantumed into the planet.
But that aside, though, pretty much with that progress tracker review, at that point, the only thing in terms of like development that we are outside of from the company wise is their own meetings, like their own Teams meetings or Zoom calls or whatever they use that they're having day to day for this stuff, and their inner office communication, and just for a few things we don't get quite as detailed of a view and description on everything. We're getting a bit more of a sanitized version. They have an internal version that has a few more spoilery details or stuff that that they need for their internal side for progress that we
I don't
don't
think
see.
Sources
But
likes me
beyond that,
tonight.
we're almost seeing almost exactly what the employees are seeing. Like that's ridiculously in depth, and honestly, no other company really goes anywhere close.
I quantumed to your location. It put me inside the planet, but it didn't kill me. So I tried to fly through the surface before it loaded in.
Kaboom!
I successfully did that, and then my just despawned, and I was a corpse, and it just flopped down to the ground.
Hey, if you're lucky, you'll spawn back at the planet.
Odds are I'm gonna be at Grim again.
You didn't land at Tressler first?
No, because I thought your marker was at Chesler, but I was wrong, and it quantumed me into the planet.
So what you're saying is get fucked.
In
Did you?
In the name of our fund. In the name of our fund. What can possibly go wrong?
Did you expedite your Carrack when you claimed it?
I haven't, but I can when I get there. At least this time, when I expedite it, it should be like ready immediately.
Honestly, just take your fucking Pisces. That's probably gonna be the fastest thing you got.
From Crusader?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, everything's gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Pisces takes about 6, I think. So.
Thing is, I'm still at a black screen. Port Tressler Microtech. Still bring up the options menu, so that's good.
Yeah, it's probably just going to take a hot minute.
I want to talk about ISC, or how, like what we were talking about before, how it's pretty much like, we should have gotten this 3 weeks ago.
I mean, to be honest, okay, so the long story short on the ISC, it was literally just a tour of the Hercules Starlifter and a tour of the Nova tank, which both of these vehicles have been released on the public patch, so there's no point in having an entire, and that was literally it. There was no new information, There was no like. It was literally just the Hercules and the Nova tank, which I mean it's cool, but literally we have these in game. There's no reason to be having an entire ISC on these vehicles. But yeah, so yeah, if we had gotten this 3 weeks ago, it would have been great. But as it is currently,
yeah, it's like a cool, like almost like a, I won't say a commercial or ad, but kind of like a in-depth behind-the-scenes type kind of look of a ship, or use a real-world analogy like a car video. I guess like a commercial for a car, actually. Yeah, it'd be more accurate.
The Armored Torso.
But like one of those like more serious car commercials where it's actually like, here's like it actually shows you all the features and they're going in depth and showing you all this and that, in-depth look. And it was nice, but it's like you're showing it to us, a week after it's already been in game and we've all fooled around with it. Like they said, like, oh, it can hold 6 tanks in there, like 3 tanks in there. I mean, like, yeah, I figured that out on last Tuesday.
Fuck, I think we figured out you can actually fit 5 if you rotate them sideways. That's pushing it, but you can do it. Of course, part of the problem too is right now there is absolutely like I had a friend who was going gaga over the Nova tank, and I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm going gaga.
Though, there's no reason to have a tank or use a tank currently in game. At most, you could go and land one down. Besides like player-made events or something like that. Okay, sure, you could do that as much as you want, but in terms of in-game stuff, literally the only use you would have would be to attack a bunker, the bunker turrets. Now, I'm hoping that it means we'll get some more ground.
That in player-created gameplay, like events and whatnot.
Well, yeah, and I said that, yeah, but it's like in terms of stuff that isn't player-created, because that could be anything, but in terms of actual scripted game content in any way, there's nothing. Now it'd be cool if maybe some of the bunker missions, maybe some of those will have a Nova tank that patrols around a bit.
We can have tank battles against the AI.
Yeah, and it would be like, hey, now, do I want to try to just go in there? Do I want to try to take it out with my ship? Grab a railgun and take it out.
Sneak in on foot, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have a whole bunch of options. Well, you can make that argument with any ground vehicle patrol outside those bunkers, which would definitely add a layer of.
Put a fucking Cyclone out there.
Yeah, put a Cyclone TR out there. This way, if you're not careful, they can gun you down with that turret.
Oh yeah.
I just realized that the YouTube video is showing black screen. The ISC video I have playing.
Yeah, ISC was a fucking joke.
Yeah. Like, tank is cool. Both are cool. It's just that, again, this isn't new information. This isn't, like, it's inside Star Citizen, not, like...
Yeah, like this is our look into the actual...
Development behind the scenes.
So it's like, it shouldn't be shit that, we already know.
The only thing I learned that's new from this video is that Sean Tracy has a cold sore.
Yep.
Hope you feel better, Sean.
Yes, because we need more content.
Yeah, what's the status on Theaters of War?
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out spring of 2020, I hear. So,
coming out.
Yeah.
Last year.
No, that was what they said in this shit. It's gonna be spring of 2020. Yeah, I'm hoping we might get some surprises with 314, like some stuff added, but I doubt it.
What's still there?
Let me alt tab and take a look. If I pull up the roadmap, so just looking at the release view, we have the Crusader planet and Orison landing zone.
Well,
So
I can
this is
actually,
that's
while you're
on
saying
the
this,
fly
let me.
into Crusader, and the Orison the landing zone, as well as the um so there's the landing zone itself. There's like a shop area. There's supposed to be like a tour area because again, it's meant to be a public facing ship factory. They're building all kinds of ships here, including so all the Crusader ships, so the Mercury Star Runner, the Hercules, and others in the Crusader lineup. They get built in the shipyards that are in the gas giant Crusader. Um, so they're going to have some of those factories there, but they also have a kind of a tour area, I guess you would call it. So they have
Yeah, it's
like
like
an
a
actual guided
tour of the
tour.
factory
They
line.
have like a
Think like
fucking
the
gift
Simpsons when they
shop.
had the tour of the Duff beer factory.
Yeah, literally that kind of stuff there. Just kind of like a public relations, public facing kind of thing for it.
Like this way, you get to see the
Now,
behind the scenes on how the Crusader ships are made, type thing. I'm sure
yeah,
it's a great marketing ploy for them in lore and
oh
everything
yeah.
like that.
Now that being said, so this is not going to be the full Orison location, just because I do know that with 316, so this would be quarter 4 of this year, they have Orison version 2 on there,
Yeah,
which
but
is,
let's
and
focus
that's
on
listed as,
314 referred.
yeah, but for 314, so we've got the initial Orison, we've got the thruster weapon and shield capacitors. So this is where essentially it's going, hey, you've got this energy amount, and you can put this pool of energy toward your weapons to go and keep fighting, to your thrusters to get the fuck out faster, to your shields to defend yourself better. Um, so just kind of adding more of a strategic level of gameplay there. We've got radar scanning and ping update. So this is, I don't know necessarily that much in the UI is, much in the actual gameplay itself is changing with this. And so it's going to be more of a like a back end. But essentially, it's going radar is used to passively scan and locate stuff. So that's stuff where if you're sitting there and a capital ship flies by, you're going to see them on your sensors way before they are going to see you because their energy signature, the energy they put out, is going to be a lot higher. So that would be your radar. Scanning is used to obtain information about a specific enemy. So you see the capital ship flying by, you can scan it to see things like who's on there, what weapons are they loading, what kind of cargo do they have, are there any other ships in that ship, that kind of stuff. So it's to get specific information about a target. And then ping is the other side of radar. Ping is used to actively send a signal out to try to get a response to then find stuff. But on the flip side, if you're sitting there and someone else pings nearby, that's gonna they are going to flare up on your radar. You're gonna know exactly pretty much where they are, or at least what direction that ping came from. So it gives away your location, and the trade-off is that it's giving you a lot more information on what's around you. So that's an active scan there. So they're putting that in. I know they were saying the UI is still kind of a work in progress, and this is also only ship side. Player side, that was pushed. The player side scanning and radar was pushed back a couple patches, I think. So that's
It was
tentatively
pushed back to
soon
315. It's
PM.
only a patch. It wasn't pushed back that far.
Yeah. We've got the missile rework. So this will finally fix the bugs like the Constellation series not being able to fire missiles, along with a lot of other issues they had, uh, as well as the missile operator mode. Now, one big change, and this is one to pay attention to. If you, as a player, use missiles at all, with this new missile operator mode, the way that's going to work is that if you are flying, let's say, a Gladius, pretty much any fighter where you are both the pilot and you are controlling the missiles, to go and lock on and fire missiles will require you to change the mode you're in. So you would go from regular flight mode to missile mode, and in missile mode, your regular weapons, so your laser guns, your ballistic repeaters, or your whatever, will be non-functional while you're in missile operator mode. Now, if you are in a multi-crew ship, your co-pilot will be able to lock on and fire those modes. I believe if that functionality itself is not in yet for the co-pilot to switch modes, I know that is going to be future functionality. I'm not sure if they're going to get that in this patch, but it's essentially that you cannot be firing your main guns while also locking on and firing missiles. It's a whole nother mode, just like scanning is a whole nother mode, mining is a whole nother mode, same kind of thing here. So that is going to bring about some changes to gameplay. You can't anymore just be like pew 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 pew, missile away, pew 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 pew. It's going to be like pew pew pew, switch over, lock on, lock achieved, firing missile, missile fired, pew 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 pew, back to it. So it is going to put some more trade-offs on using missiles versus continuing regular gun combat.
I hope they change it for at least single fighter, for smaller ships.
or at least like short term, definitely change it, and then long term maybe being able to have like an AI blade that can go and do something there, because as it is, and I mean too, maybe it'll get tweaked so it could be that for a single seater. So let's say if you're in a Gladius, maybe it'll be real fast to be able to lock on and fire the missiles, whereas for larger ships or larger missiles, maybe those would take longer. But as it is, we don't even have it in our hands yet, so it could be really good. It could be kind of We'll have to see. Because I mean, this shit's always changing, always being tweaked. Back to the roadmap. So we've got the version 2 of Surrender. So what this is going to allow is if you have a crime stat and you're being attacked by law enforcement, you can go and power off your ship. So this is not on foot surrender. This is still just if you are in a vehicle, but you can power off your ship, and at that point, they will go and essentially capture you, and then you will be taken to the prison. But I believe this will lead to a reduced sentence because you gave yourself up willingly as opposed to fighting it out until they forcefully, violently take you down. Ship-wise, we've got the Constellation Taurus still on the roadmap for 3.14. So this is the primary cargo hauler version of the Constellation. It has a larger cargo bay on it. I don't know what exactly the SCU size is on there. And then core tech-wise, we finally have the volumetric cloud update. So this is the first update for actual clouds that are 3-dimensional, you can fly through, as opposed to the 2-dimensional, you're either on top of them or on bottom of them clouds that we've had for so long. Now, that being said, it does not say on the card if this is just Crusader, because obviously it's a gas giant, so it's pretty much all cloud and gas and stuff. I'm assuming this is going to be for all planets.
I hope so, because as good as the 2D textures over planets look from orbit and from ground. Flying through them does kind of break break my immersion. But I mean, like, it kind of ruins the experience for me a little bit. It's like,
when you see this 2D texture just
you just go right through it. It's like walking through a glass pane. Pane of glass.
Yeah.
I'd rather just and their cloud tech that they have already in place, with at least the nebulous clouds, and with Crusader, what they have in the works. I want to see that in action. They've been working on this for so long. I want to see the effort that they put into this. Because I know it looks good from what I've seen. They're going to improve it over time. Now, if the planets themselves are any indication,
version 3, version 4, so it's like this stuff is always being iterated on and improved.
Like right now, we're at what, Planet Tech V4, V5?
Correct, version 4. We're probably gonna get version 5 in another
pretty soon. Yeah, I imagine
year or two, probably.
It's crazy. Like, just look at the planets from 3.0, right? Like, look at Daymar alone, from 3.0 to 3.13. And you will see a night and day difference in how much better and more realistic it looks. The ground textures look real.
But so that's all we got right now for 3.14. And I'll note too, all of this stuff is still listed as tentative, so that means it could still potentially slide off. Nothing is locked in just yet.
And tentative is, according to the website here, it's described as, this deliverable is tentatively scheduled for this quarter, but hasn't gone through the review process and may shift around on the roadmap. So anything that you see here as tentative means that it's liable to be changed.
Now, that being said, I am still hoping that we're going to be getting for 3.15. So that's where, like, the FPS, the first person scanning, the tier 0 of healing, the personal inventory hacking, NPC healing, that all slid down to 3.15. Okay, like medical tool, multi-tool healing attachment. So that all slid down to 3.15, but here's hoping that we do get it then, because honestly, that the personal inventory, that alone is going to change a lot of stuff, because that's going to go and be changing from the global inventory of, hey, I need more med pens, and I just equip them back to my armor from this bag of holding that they sit in, or ammo or grenades or whatever else, to, hey, you need more ammo. Hey, if you don't have it in your backpack, because that's you'll be able to have stuff individually in a backpack. Hey, if you have it in your backpack, sure, just go and throw it right on your armor so it's ready to use. But if you didn't put it in your backpack, maybe you have to go back to your ship for that. Or, hey, I don't have any on my ship. Okay, well, now I have to actually go back to, an actual store or a hangar and pick some up if you don't have any on the ship. So that's going to lead to, 2 is, if I lose my ship, I lose all the stuff I've stored on my ship. And if you stored all of your...
It means there's going to be a lot more risk-reward. You're not going to be able to just, the ship's not working, blah, 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 like, I'm just going to blow it up or claim it, whatever. Unless you moved all that stuff from a new ship or to another storage area. Not a good idea.
And I just thought of it, too. That's probably going to lead to some... have a pleasant stay. What's the term for that gameplay that comes about? Just in between features, but from player to player.
The what?
So, like, there was a term they used for gameplay that emerges from the player base, from the community. It's not something they built in, but kind of like secondary effects as a result of the primary stuff they put in. So,
I don't remember the term, but I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the term they used.
Yeah, I want to say immersive gameplay, but that's not it. Anyway,
emergent gameplay.
Yeah,
emergent gameplay.
That was it, yeah.
Emergence, yeah.
But what I was thinking of is that with that kind of stuff now, hey, my ship is not working, it's damaged, it's whatever, but my stuff's still on it. Hey, can someone come and pick up me and let me put all of my stuff on your ship until, and then take me to here so I can offload my stuff, so I can save my stuff? That's going to be a thing once that's in. We're like, hey, yeah, sure, you pay me, because this is going to be a 20-minute job, 30-minute job.
Hey, the hangars are actually labeled on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. It's probably the only place that does that.
So it's like that alone is going to be probably a pretty big thing. And then, of course, people will steal, hey, thanks for all your stuff. Blam, blam. Ha, 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 it's mine now. There'll be people who will do that.
Yeah, I mean, look, just the beginning of the stream, I had some schmuck ram me at Port Olisar and somehow gave me a crime stat, and then I got shot at by the station. Now, part of that is a glitch, and their law system not being 100% yet, but...
Yeah.
Still, like, the player ramming me is not a glitch. That is a player just being a schmuck.
Yeah. But then also, too, depending on how much stuff goes into that inventory, if you finally have cargo now also being included in that, you now have piracy being unlocked as an actual feature, because now I can actually say, hey, give me some of your cargo or I kill you. Because now you have the ability to transfer that cargo now. So, but we will see, because this is still going to be the Tier 0 implementation of it, so there's still going to be a lot of work. Which is why even though that like personal inventory got pushed back from 3.14, I can understand it because at the same we're always like, we want this stuff now, we don't care if it's buggy, and then it's buggy. Why is it buggy? They should have spent more time polishing it. When? And it's like,
I think
you really can't win with it.
I was gonna say Cyberpunk is a perfect example of wanting something before it's ready. No, but from the stories we heard in that expose that we covered, it seems like they were going to release it that 2020 anyways. The executives were
higher ups wanted it.
Yeah, the executives were all like for it. The devs were like, no, this is 2022 release at best.
Yeah. But still, it is good to see stuff, coming together. It's slowly coming together, but oh, speaking of, I don't have a picture for it at this point. I'm going to see if I can find one. But I actually heard... Oh, actually, I might have one. But apparently on some cutlasses... And I just dropped a picture into the chat we got going on here, if you want to bring that up. But people have been seeing on
some of the new paint jobs. Yeah, someone in our Discord server, in our org.
Not the paint job, although the paint job does look cool. Look at the wing there. It has a name. It looks like it's a placeholder name, but that might mean that they're opening up the ship naming to, or at least getting the work done, the back end done for ship naming for much more ships as opposed to just the large stuff. If you see on the diagonally right by the blue lights, it has Drac_Cutlass_blue. So
trying to get on the stream now.
So that might mean that soon, TM, we might get naming for a lot more ships here.
Which will be nice because I can finally name my Cutlass Black the Huey.
What are you gonna name it?
The Huey, like a Huey helicopter.
Are you just gonna play Fortunate Son through the speakers all day, every day?
No, I'll play some Painted Black too.
Now, what I really can't wait for though, and unfortunately we don't have it on the roadmap yet, but I can't wait for when they do the armor archetypes.
Oh, that was so cool. I can't wait for that because it's split into 4?
6, I think.
Yeah, but like it's combat and utility. So, but then it's combat specialist and utility specialist as well. So you've got 4, but then you have like 6. Because then you have. I thought there were 6, but I think there's only. Hold on, where's that? I have an image somewhere. I'll find it later. But it pretty much, essentially, you have 4 to 6 different armor pillars. Again, combat specialist, utility specialist, and then I think there's another 2. But again, something and then something specialist. Like bounty hunting, dedicated bounty hunting armor, that would be a combat specialist armor. Combat specialist armor, as they described it, was like your spec ops armor. Like something for more like specialized type of incursions and operations. Whereas then you have utility, where utility would be your industrial armors, like the RSI MacFlex, I think was utility, and then they had pretty much everything, all the other non-combat armors, i.e. like the RSI Venture armor and
the Grey Cat armor.
That wasn't out yet when they made the video, but I imagine that would also fall under stuff like utility specialist and stuff like that. So. But the point, and that's not all. Like, it's not gonna be everything under.
Probably gonna be coming in 3.14.
Yeah.
The Grey Cat armor. Probably.
But that's not all. Like, it's not just everything under combat and combat specialists are gonna have the same stats, right? No. What they're doing is every armor is going to have unique stats to that armor. Like say the Orc Mark V, Legacy Marine armor, that will probably be more resistant to ballistic fire, whereas the or laser fire, whereas the Orc Mark X is more resistant to ballistic fire, or something like that. They'll have different weaknesses and strengths depending on the unique armor itself, and I love that. They even talked about armor having different armors having radiation protection, just because radiation will be a thing. We're in space.
Yeah, and things
we have cosmic rays.
Temperature, how well they insulate you from heat or cold. Yeah. I actually have. I found a Nubifier video. 5 armor in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's pretty much a great way to go and sum up the entire armor presentation. Yeah, it's a Nubifier. Yeah, he does a great job of just going and getting right to the core of shit.
Yep, so you get your Drake shirts, your Drake hats, the memorabilia. Welcome to Traveler! Get the hell out of here today.
Before I make you.
Yep, so you got 48 hours on these rentals. Always loved the hammerhead.
Pew.
Actually, it is a shame that you can't rent the 89D, because I did want to see what the boarding looked like.
What the what? Oh,
like the docking.
You can see with the hammerhead.
It's true. So I rented a hammerhead. So. Yeah, they don't have the tank.
Yep. Nope.
Is that the 100
tank,
series?
No, not even
they
a
do.
Mercury Star Runner.
Like I said, the 100 series is such a. It's such a like a. It's almost like a. It's not the Pisces in terms of fun, but it is close.
I honestly haven't flown them much.
Unlike the Pisces, you can actually spawn it at the vehicle spawning pads on planetary surfaces.
Also too, I've noticed that the Pisces recently, the landing gear on it sometimes glitches out, and I've oftentimes been getting they say I'm blocking the flight bay when I'm landed in my own landing pad.
I've had that with the Carrack too.
So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but
Like the landing gear just won't come down sometimes at all, or go up.
yeah.
Shame they don't have the Talon on rentals.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but
I just rented 2 Cutlass Reds.
only 2.
Well, I'm experimenting to see how many I can rent. Wait, they have the Banyu Defender. That's a ship I've been flown. Where are you?
I am at Microtech.
I'm at the Defense Con. Where about you?
Well, you would have passed me to get there.
I'm at the holographic display of the Kraken.
I am in the elevator going to Defense Con.
I love how they advertise this to be like an anti-piracy. We all know who's going to be using it.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, the whole Defense Con, like the Defense Con's whole shtick is, who's going to protect you when the fleet, the UEE, isn't around. That being said, I think half of the reputation Drake has is literally just the community memeing on him. Yeah. Gib Vulture. Gib. Well, because they're not really holograms. It just kills you instantly.
The red lasers. What do you think those are?
Yep.
Actually, there is a heat distortion effect in there, though. I do love the red color use versus the blue of the fleet.
You.
Just letting anyone here read this if they want to. Ramp, right there. Engines, wings. Boarding Drake's classic asymmetrical design.
Yeah, okay.
What?
There's classic design. Okay.
Well, look at all their ships. They always have some kind of asymmetrical design aside from the Cutlass and Buccaneer.
The Vulture. Like literally the only ship they have that's asymmetric is the Kraken, and the yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say if you detach the command module, but I was like, no, wait, the tractor beam station does still make it asymmetric.
It is cool to see.
That being said, no one else has made a fucking space ambulance besides Drake, so.
A space what?
Ambulance.
That's true.
Like, honestly, give me a fucking Terrapin without that stupid scanner in the middle and a single.
It would be the perfect ambulance. It would be better than the Red.
It's heavily armored, it's got VTOL engines, it's got great scanners on it, boom, there you go.
It looks the part better than the Cutlass Red does.
Fuck yeah.
Like, you know, give it some wee-woo lights.
I got my fingers crossed. If it ever does, I'm grabbing one.
I say we make a Spectrum post and get a petition. See how many players.
I've made several already, but go for it.
On the side doors.
Or just a heavy machine gun, like man portable. Door opens up. Hi. Just have the whole org there. But that's it. Yep. Yes. And even better, they've made it real easy. Like, there's no more, like, before it was like, oh, you have to go to this one page and enter a code, and then it would go and, yep, literally just make an account, download game, and off you go.
Oh look, home movie.
It's almost as big as the one in my closet.
What's that?
The screen's almost as big as the one in my closet.
Yeah.
I love the little disclaimers they fucking add after that.
I wish there was sound.
That would be nice.
Because that's kind of the thing that's missing right in this entire atmosphere is audio. Now, like, I just hear some like air currents and stuff, but I don't hear any chatter. I don't hear any, you know, voiceovers or anything like that, or like announcements, and the display screens aren't saying anything.
Yeah, so that's DefenseCon. And yeah,
Pretty
that goes through
much.
the 3rd. So if you haven't already bought an account, now's the perfect time to check it out.
And that will be impressive when they can get the, a visible arm of the galaxy in the skybox.
Fuck yeah. I still love the stuff where it goes and it just zooms out from something specifically like on a planet to here's the vehicle, here's where they're at, here's the planet, here's the solar
Showing the
system.
sense of scale that this game is.
Oh yeah.
Like here, and now we're in another star system. Look, that's the other side of the galaxy. Oh yeah, sure. Aegis is the bad guy. Just because the Messer era happened. I mean, to be fair, a lot of pirates do use it.
I'm just going, okay, so you've got this fucking capital ship in the area. How the fuck did these chuckle fucks not even see it on the scanners?
Dramatic entrance.
I mean, you're not wrong, but still. It's like, how do you not see a fucking capital ship? Right? Like, because literally you see the pirate go like,
Yeah, right. You see their whoops face. Oh, whoops. We're gonna head how to.
And
Too
then
late.
they fight instead of running. I mean,
And
it's a great cinematic commercial, but
no one was harmed in making this commercial.
lies.
Actually, they do have that. They do have that. They have a disclaimer.
That's like I said. They've got an actual like fucking disclaimer.
They have a disclaimer. Like all stunt pilots, so UE military, like this was like professionally done.
They all lies. Components may be shown that are not stock. Please consult your dealer for more info. Like literally, it's like, what? But that's the level of fucking detail they go to this shit.
I'm surprised they're not showing other Drake ship commercials. But then again, there really aren't any other
This
Drake
is
ship
a one
commercials
screen
they
as
have.
well, so
They don't have any others that I'm aware of. I mean, actually, do they have one for the red? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I know the one they have for the black is just like a here's the shot of the black. That's it.
There was the OG Cutlass Black commercial, which they aren't showing, but
Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, they don't really have one for. There's none for the Dragonfly. I wouldn't really call a commercial, and neither I would call the Cutlass Black one was more of a reveal.
was it? I thought the Cutlass Black was
No, you're thinking the original one. I'm talking about the rework that they have for the. Now
yeah.
that was like a cinematic reveal of the new rework. But the original commercial, yeah, but they haven't like remade that new.
Honestly, that would be funny if they did. But that being said, honestly, it would be a bit of a waste of effort to do so now.
Especially since they made commercials for ships that are either just revealed and like in concept, or just came out into the.
Did the Caterpillar have a commercial?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I can remember.
I don't remember one.
I'm going to quickly use the power of the internet and Star Citizen's YouTube channel. Also, to Hilton29's in the chat saying, good to see you, and making just like another Baron plan.
Wait, you can see us?
Yeah. Oh, there is. but it's dated.
Yeah.
We're talking it was because remember the Caterpillar came out in 2.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just in. Oh, this isn't even a real
210.
commercial. Okay, yeah, they don't have one.
Where's the Star Kitten commercial?
That'll be a fan made commercial.
Probably.
I'll be right back and go use the restroom. I've returned, and yes, I just went in my suit, but it's okay because my suit turns the water into power and the ammonia into EVA fuel.
Yeah, not bad.
I really do like the Cutlass Blues canopy.
Oh yeah, honestly, I would love it if they would upgrade all of the Caterpillar or all of the Cutlasses to have the Blues cockpit. Just it does look a lot better. Do they? Nope, I'm a good boy. So I guess that confirms prisoner pod module for Caterpillar. Yeah, in a cargo grade or something. One thing I do like is how I actually noticed, so they're all on a rail system. So you can see there's this one spot here for loading, offloading, and then they all just go around on this loop. And so you get
Yeah, it's like an electronic closet.
Yeah. Also, too, would be a great way to store all your armor. Right? Of course, probably storing it in a box.
Like an electronic closet, yeah.
Also, too, so it looks like, you've got the weapon rack here, and it looks like also, too, I would bet this is going to be an armor rack. It looks like it's just a standard closet, same one in the cockpit. So I'm betting you can store
Yeah,
a whole
yeah,
set of
probably.
armor and a whole shitload of weapons. But and I like that it's behind this security grate kind of thing.
Agreed.
When
Yeah, you
did
can
you
turn your
get
light
the glow
off.
sticks?
Someone gifted them to me.
Yeah, I see how it is.
Now I got the blue and the green and the red one.
Yeah, honestly, on the note of the glow sticks, they really need to make a way for you to be able to a store interface or something, be able to reclaim or rebuy items that are unique. Because as it is, if you lose them currently,
Why do you think I'm
you have
not
to do
taking
a
it off my
character.
chest?
Yeah, exactly. You have to do a character reset in order to get them back. It's ridiculous.
Exactly, because that's the thing with even with at the moment with FPS equipment. Everyone doesn't know for FPS equipment, like like the flare that I have on my chest, that's unique that you bought either that you bought in real money or in my case where someone else bought with real money and gifted to you. But the point is, you own through the RSI website. Like you own it permanently. It's permanently tied to your account because you paid real money for it. Those items like this flare or some of the guns that I think a gun I have that you have too, right? The custodian.
Yep.
That's Citizen Con custodian. Stuff like that. If you were to use it and say, okay, you die with the gun in your hand, then you lose that gun, like any other gun, and you don't get it back until the next patch, when you get the gun back with the patch. Like right now, my Paladin helmet. The reason I'm not wearing my Paladin helmet, which is the same helmet as Cam is wearing right now, is because I don't have it right now. It's not in my inventory. I was wearing it in 3.13.0, and when 3.13.1 went live, it wiped the gear that I was wearing, and it wiped the helmet too. I still own it, but it means I have to wait until 3.14 to get it back. Although I suppose I can do a character reset, now we get it back too.
Yeah, just do a character reset. Yeah, honestly, this cockpit is much nicer in my opinion than the standard black and red.
Yeah, I want to see something. Are they gonna even let you enter? There we go. Yeah, it's because you have a better view.
Like seriously, out of a lot of ships, this is a very nice cockpit view. Mostly because it's unobstructed.
Yep.
There's a lot of ships.
No
you got
struts.
Like struts everywhere, or like the Cutlass Black. You've got the fucking terminal taking up nearly half or over half of the fucking.
Yeah, but here all you have is the terminal, no struts, which makes your view feel a lot more free.
Oh yeah. I think so. I am kind of sad that in the red and blue, they've got the entryway here, but it'd be cool if they had left the seats, the jump seats.
Yeah.
No reason not to have.
I can understand on. Actually, no, I can't. Neither. It would make sense for both.
This is literally just being used for an airlock now. Why can't you have the seats there?
And cargo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could put cargo. Can you? Does cargo actually go here? Because I see there's like the little box shape on the floor.
Yeah, that's why this is the Cutlass Black's cargo area.
No, on the red, can you put cargo here?
Yes, yeah. It would go here.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that works. No, cargo road, not cargo ship. Carno go space.
Yeah. Look, you got the seats are here on this in the airlock area.
Did you know on the above the med bay here on the red, there's a little thing that says "Mind your head."
On the med bay?
Yeah. If you like the rail that's over top of it, if you actually lie down in it, there's a little thing that actually says "Mind your head."
Oh,
As
look
if
at that.
you're looking straight up.
I mean, it would be nicer if it was not, at a 90-degree. If it
Yeah, it's a little hard to read it, but
it's also not really spaced well, but. What's the prognosis, Doctor?
he's dead. What? It's just a paper cut. Damn.
I'm not dead yet. Oh, he's dying. He'll be dead soon. I'm getting better.
He'll be dead soon.
I really. This looks like a door. Like a door that's supposed to slide closed. No?
Yeah. Or at least they caught. Well, also too look at the half of a panel there. So they probably just copied it from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
So,
the caterpillar.
It definitely looks goofy, but whatever.
I mean, I had no problem with it being a door. The problem is,
mean,
where's the door actually go? Like, where's the door being stored? Like, there's not so much room in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. I just find it funny that they finally put in a toilet in there.
It's just so annoying that the Cutlass Black doesn't have one, and I did not. I meant to open it, and now I'm sitting on.
Also, you've now got your glow stick in hand. Boink.
Alright, I fixed it. That can't be sanitary, though.
I mean, it is a Drake ship.
I know. Actually, that reminds me. Is there even a crapper on the caterpillar? And that isn't a toilet. I mean, let's be honest, all of them are toilets. But even toilets function purpose. Is it just me, or is the... Okay, there we go.
Very slow.
Don't you mean... Ooh. Wow. I feel like we could have jumped and climbed in on our own faster than this.
Yeah, that was terrible. No, it's got one.
The only thing missing was being nozzled.
It's in the habitation area, go figure.
Oh, let me guess, it's just out in the open.
No, kind of. Although it actually does look like this one has a closing door.
Oh, yeah, it's a little porta potty.
Oh, no, look at the door. This is similar to the one there. So there would be a sliding door that has a little handle.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay, so yeah, it'd be a manual slide door. Nice.
Which, I mean, okay.
Yeah, it's fitting. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So they're just missing the other two doors that and the rail.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, no, you see, like they only have the outer.
It's like it's a double.
Yeah, there's three.
But I don't know if that's a visual glitch or if there's just two halves.
Or they just didn't fit. Yeah. Wow, one toilet for a crew of, I would say 4.
I mean, to be fair, that's not too bad.
That sounds like my apartment. So.
2 would be better, but it's not too bad. Now the real question is, does the command module have a toilet?
Go check it.
Also, are there any weapon racks on this? Like FPS?
I know what you meant. I don't know. But also armor racks too.
Are there?
I don't think there are.
Hmm?
Damn, I can't enter the command module's lower hatch just by walking backwards to fall through. Okay, so we got a table, 2 beds. Oh, I guess this would be the storage area up top here. Yeah, like kind of like an airplane or bus storage area. I feel like
Yeah, definitely looks like you could put some
like little storage. Literally, you have drawers labeled storage.
Oh, you do get a weapon rack. They got a weapon rack. At least I'm assuming this looks.
Oh, yep, that's a weapon rack.
Oh, hey,
Hooray!
Honestly, that's not bad.
Yeah. This is an emergency door?
I'm assuming that's the docking.
No, we just went through the docking thing. This is on the other side.
Yeah, no, this is a docking port for the command module.
Or an emergency. Yeah, or an emergency.
No,
exit
when it's detached, when it detached.
Yeah. And I'm saying when you land, like in this detached in this is the exit. Because that certainly.
Yeah, it does not look like so. So you do have sink, stove. I assume.
You have. That's a stove.
Oh nope, you do got a toilet.
Oh
wow, nope, it full command module.
Nice. Wait, I don't see a toilet, but
yeah, it's probably there, but
yeah, I know that's
either
you
way.
You wouldn't have the handles there otherwise.
Yeah,
just looks it'd be
honestly,
a weird design. If it was
bad.
only a shower and sink, like why are there handles there unless there was a toilet or something?
It's not bad at all though.
Yeah, it's definitely better than I expected. Oh, there's another weapon rack too.
Really?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, honestly, I never even knew that was there. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Man, like it. Honestly, it seems like every ship has more weapons than the fucking Carrack. Like FPS weapons.
No, Carrack still has more than this one.
I mean, yeah, but this one has 12. Carrack has 16.
Yeah, come close.
Still disappointing.
Man, Drake couldn't even cover their circuits. Okay,
Yeah.
they got panels. Okay, they got panels just, unhinged here and lying about and closed wires.
Now, that being said, what's the crew of a Caterpillar? 4, 5, 4?
What?
Well, yeah, but
No. What was the question again?
What's the crew size of a Caterpillar?
I think 4.
But there are only 2 beds in the command module.
There's 2 beds in the command module and 2 beds in the crew's quarters. So I'm taking that as 4. and you got 4 seats here.
Yep.
And then you got, turret stations, engineering stations. So you can definitely have more than 4 on board. Yeah. It's just you'd only be able to have 4 sleeping. Which, I mean, plays into that whole thing we talked about earlier this week with, like, taking shifts.
Yeah.
Now, like you can have like a 10-person crew on this ship. But you're not all online at the same time or something. Like, you also got the tractor beam station.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, is you're not going to have everyone at every station at all times all the time.
True. And I mean, everyone's going to be.
You're going to be running around. Like, okay, you're not going to be at the tractor beam. Like, you're not going to have some guy on standby in the tractor beam 24/7. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, everyone's going to multitask.
That's why you're not going to have someone in the turret all the freaking time. Like, it does make sense to have someone in engineering all the time because
of course he doesn't get to come down and get food until he kills something.
The turret gunner?
Yeah. Was there something down here before we could access? I thought there were like elevators or something here.
No, but there's a terminal here. Really, right here. Drake ships do show you a good job of like what the interior, like in between the walls and kind of like the inner workings of a spaceship.
Yeah, no, it definitely does look nice.
Because they don't have interior walls.
Oh yeah, look, you even got storage right here.
Yeah. The same thing as on the command module. And you got stove and a sink, and emergency and first aid kits and storage.
Probably food storage. Can't wait till all this kind of shit's functional.
Yeah, this actually doesn't look as bad as I expect
I mean,
originally as I remember.
This would be what like a real spaceship would be like.
Yeah, bare minimum necessities. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I love that. Like, you see all the inner workings and everything like that. Like, you can see like this is what in between the walls of the exterior hull and the interior walls look like.
Yeah.
All these modules and conditioners and vacuum sealing. Oh, I found another weapon rack.
What? Damn. So this does have more weapons than the fucking carrier.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
And it's right at the exit too.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. You got habitation right here. You got your guys run over.
No,
here
exactly. Like,
guns.
I love that. Where it's like, okay, you're running out of the ship, grab a weapon right as you go.
Well, that's why I'm kind of pissed off that there isn't any weapon rack in the garage or the docking car or hallway there. Where it's like, that's exactly where you need it. Same thing with the upper, the fourth level. Where the
that airlock, that would be perfect to have some weapon racks, and they can use. They could have had the weapon racks like kind of do what they do on the 890 and the Carrack already, where they kind of come out of the wall and everything like that. This way, they're not out and displayed.
Or like how the Cutlass Blue has, where you have like
that they're fenced off. Well, I just meant that because that's kind of Anvil and Origin's shape, where they have it like come out of the walls. They're like, that's essentially their version of having it fenced off, is that it's hidden inside the wall, and I assume eventually you'll have to have like permission from the captain or ship access in order to actually open it. Yeah. Just as you would with
maybe
the
we'll
fenced
be able
off.
to add that kind of shit. I doubt it, but
What?
being able to put one on the wall or some bullshit.
Oh, like a gun mounted to the wall.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I would do that with my
The
S71.
Carrack in the garage, it has like the webbing on the walls, which if it was realistic, you would be able to put like cargo or stuff there. So if that was part of the cargo grid, if they would be like, hey, you can have a weapon rack in your cargo grid, then that would allow for, oh yeah, you just put this here and it will stick to the wall. It takes up some small amount of cargo space, but you now have gun racks. Or something.
Something. I like how you do that sliding animation when there's no side rails to slide on. But yeah, these panels here fold up. They're supposed to go down like an elevator, so you can exit to the surface.
Yep. Well, yeah, I think for DefenseCon, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, that is pretty much it. We already showed off. The all we haven't shown off is the Buccaneer and Dragonfly, but honestly, those are single person.
Yeah.
It's a bike and it's a fighter.
We can go poking the Herald. I haven't been in one of those in a while.
Oh yeah.
Literally just an engine with a small interior strap to it. Yeah. And again, right as soon as you hit the door, weapon rack.
Even on the Cutlass Black, it makes sense because again, like the second you exit your seat, weapon rack's right there. You know, just grab a weapon, head out that airlock.
Yeah, makes sense.
Same with the Avenger Titan. All the Avengers except for the Warlock.
Yeah. I do hope that they, like right now, the Avengers and the habitation module, there's nothing there, but I do hope we have at least like 2 weapon racks and a
I think there are weapon racks that are just not usable, or like they're not fully
Okay.
in. I think. Where'd you say those weapon racks are? Right as you exit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, right there. Wow. Holds a lot of weapons too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these
to be
weapon
honest,
racks are usable
that's
yet.
at the
though.
Drake's standard. So at least before
Yeah.
the Cutlass Black rework, because the Cat was even before that, so they probably just copy paste. So it could change in the future, but
Yeah.
because they
I
could
hope
change
they keep this because I like having different versions of weapon racks because it means that later in the future when we can buy weapon rack, like separate weapon racks to use in our cargo holds as a cargo module, you know, like essentially as a, you know, like okay, it takes up cargo space in your cargo hold, but you can use it. It's like a usable piece of cargo.
Yeah, it gives its options.
Exactly. It gives you options like, okay, here's the standard 4-1, and then here's Drake's version. Like Drake sells their own that holds this, 6, and then you have, say another one that holds 2, or You know, like the 2-1 can be like for bigger weapons, because obviously this won't be able to hold railguns stuff. And then you can have like a pistol only one, or one that holds both pistols and rifles. Yeah, this is pretty much that's all defense cons. Nice. But yeah, what do you think of Invictus overall this year, though?
I'd say it was pretty good.
Yeah. Got to see Bengal Carrier had a somewhat meager tour of a javelin. We've had the fun of renting tanks and blowing each other to smithereens. I think the highlight was really just renting all the cool ships that you fly and meeting.
Yeah.
That was my highlight.
I mean, it was fun. Yeah. I'd still be laughing my ass up at the pirate who manages to go and interdict the fucking Invictus fleet as it comes in.
Bad for that pirate. I mean, at the start of the event, I actually got to team up with the Invictus fleet. Not the Invictus fleet, but a UEE Navy F-8 Lightning came out of nowhere. It was being attacked by a few Buccaneers, and I just helped it out.
Yeah, I've actually heard other people mention a few times here and there that they've noticed that there's F-8s flying security, not just around the fleet, but around stations.
Yeah, this was around, I think, I want to say Crusader.
So
and it was cool. It's like, oh, hey, look, you know, I just helped that Starman out.
Oh, one thing too to mention for those who might not know, the Defense Con event. This is actually being held, so you know it's like, oh, a big room. This is actually a hangar. This is probably the hangar that a capital ship would go in. So we're talking Idris, Kraken, that kind of shit.
Whereas the Invictus Fleet Week event was held at the Tobin Expo Center.
Yeah, it's
Expo Center
in the expo.
That, you know, specifically built for events and stuff. Whereas this is just being held in a hangar.
Yeah.
Like we are literally just walking around I'd say capital size hangar.
Yeah, because if you look up, you can fucking see like
the hangar doors. Yeah, I can see the seam line right there where they open up.
Then again, though, they're probably going to make another bigger hangar than this, but we'll see.
I'm sure.
They already have.
I think the Javelin's the largest ship that can actually land, isn't it?
Does the Javelin land? I thought the Javelin was not rated for landing. At least in a gravity well. I know the Bengal is not, but does the Javelin have landing gear? I thought I remember hearing it did not even have landing gear. Similarly, I thought I remember hearing that even the whole like D.
I think the whole C doesn't.
But the whole C. I think
the whole C does only when it's collapsed, when it doesn't have its cargo.
Yeah, but then the whole D
structure exposed.
Just did not have landing out. Like they are not rated for atmospheric landing.
I know, I'll have to check again, but I'm pretty sure. I know that the Idris can land. We've seen it land.
Oh, yeah, the Idris. We saw it. Yeah, we saw it.
The giant ass ramp, too.
Honestly, I kind of expect that to change. I'm not sure how, but I expect it to change. Don't ask questions.
You see them too, right?
Don't ask questions.
I think we can end it on this sunset.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So.
Yep. So that was Invictus. You can see the fireworks off in the distance over at the Tobin. Yeah, this has been Invictus launch week, 2951. You guys enjoyed it. You certainly have.
And if you haven't, too bad.
Yeah. But if you if you want to participate in the Star Citizen Free Fly, it ends June 3rd. All you need to do is create an account, which is really, really simple if you're watching us, because we make it easy. By really just go on the live stream right now, look in the description under "Want to become a Star Citizen." There will be a link to create an account. Create an account. It's that simple. Show it here. There. Account. Go from there, create an account. Then once you create an account, you can go to the home page, click on Invictus Launch Week 951, and literally just fly now. And it really is a little creepy that events kind of touching. Oh hey, I think this is a Starman or Starwoman here. Got a Navy uniform.
So you're saying they escaped from the fleet? Quick, throw them back.
Remember, your belongings belong to you. Keep a careful watch on all personal items.
Alright. So I'm gonna end the episode here. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Whether you're watching this live or catching a replay later, I just want to say thank you and help support us. You guys know to share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And also, if you want to help support us in a more personal way, link to our PayPal is in the description below, as well as our Teespring store where you can buy our ridiculous t-shirts. And it all goes to us and our new fund, What Can Possibly Go Wrong? Which you see on the screen. We have 216 days to reach $500. We're not going to reach it, but it's worth a shot.
Goals. Everyone needs them.
Yep. Anyway, until next time, it's been Cast in the Shadows. Remember to treat others that you want.